like, share, subscribe. Shouts out to the Lions Den community. And don't y'all forget to subscribe to the podcast show. Link will be pinned in the top of the chat.
Just name the channel who could bang with us. I'll prove that you are smoking dust. GTV Media is top notch in this game, y'all. You failures only have your self to blame, y'all. Cricket TV and a weapons make you suckers cry. Why don't you close your channel, crawl into a hole and die? Shout out to those who love our movement, no, we'll never flop until you get your mouth on LDBC. We are the underground outfit, y'all. We built this whole thing by ourselves, no in y'all. Independence start with self-preservation. If you can't take care of self, then how can you build a nation, y'all? Yup, we got that merch for the ladies and yes, we even got that merch for the babies and we got appliances and everything that you will need. We got some banging songs that make anemic haters bleed.
All right, man. Salute everybody. Tapping on in. Press 1 if y'all can hear me. If y'all can hear me, press 1. Appreciate all y'all. Tap on in. As y'all come on in, we're going to get right into this video. Love, honor, and respect, man. You know, as everybody comes in the building. Y'all can hear me? All right, bet. Appreciate all of you guys, man. As, let me get to this. I want to shout out the people in the Cash App who sent donations, man. Hot Rod sent $100 last night. Salute to you. And that Cash App, Charlene Evans, salute to you. You sent a 50 spot. Bria, salute to you for the donation. Rick Manning, I appreciate you. Jason Evans, salute to you for the donation. The 20 spot. Grace, Mercy, and Save, I appreciate you for the $50 donation. Incognito Money Management, salute to you for the donation. Quincy Cheney Jr., salute to you for the donation. Incognito, salute to you again for the donation. And Daryl Johnson, salute to you for the $100 donation. And the Cash App, appreciate all y'all supporting the channel, hitting that Cash App PayPal link, man. Let's get into it, man. The link is pinned at the top of the comments too if y'all want to support. And so let's get into it. Well, Shannon Sharpe has had a past history with Antonio Brown. I don't know how this actually started. I don't know if this started from Shannon Sharpe being in the media and being very critical of Antonio Brown, because Shannon Sharpe has been very critical of Antonio Brown for a long time. He has absolutely torn into Antonio Brown for years. And, you know, he used his platforms, whether it be on whether it be on Undisputed or wherever, to tear Antonio Brown to shreds when he was playing in the NFL. And I guess Antonio Brown never forgot that. Now, fast forward to the situation, you know what I'm saying, with Shannon Sharpe and Antonio Brown on the interview with LeBron James. Antonio Brown did an interview with LeBron James. In that interview, Antonio Brown called Shannon Sharpe a COON. He called Shannon Sharpe that in that interview. Shannon Sharpe obviously was bothered by that interview, in which Shannon Sharpe said that, right? And Shannon Sharpe has asked other people about Antonio Brown's situation in interviews. He had a conversation about it with Michael Vick on Club Shay Shay about his situation with Tom Brady and all this other stuff. Also, he's been very critical, like I said, on shows about Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe has also been critical about Antonio Brown, telling him the world don't revolve around him. I'll let you guys have some history.
What do you think's happening with Antonio, man? You think he's going to find a team? He's still working out real hard. What do you predict?
Antonio know what he needs to do. He's not going to find a team until he talks to the NFL. They made that abundantly clear to him. Antonio doesn't get to set the rules. The NFL sets the rules, and you abide by them.
Right.
So if he thinks he's going to be able to come back and play in the NFL without talking to the NFL, that's not happening.
So no team can even pick him up right now. They won't pick him up before he squashes it with the NFL.
Yes.
Do you think that's going to happen? Do you see him on a team this year?
No, not until he talks to the NFL.
Do you think he will?
No, he thinks he can play by his rules.
Right.
Remember he said he plays by his rules. We'll see how far that takes him.
Is there a chance he never plays NFL football again?
That's up to Antonio. Once Antonio understands it's the NFL, it's been going on for 100 years. Joe Montana, John Elway, Deion Sanders, some of the greats. And the game still goes on.
Right.
When's the last time you heard somebody mention Antonio Brown's name?
Not for a while.
The game will go on without Antonio
Absolutely.
Brown. He needs to understand that.
Are you guys chill these days? I know you had a bit of back and forth on Twitter and stuff.
I don't have a problem. My job is I discuss issues. I don't get personal. It's never personal with me. I have a job to do.
Yeah.
Just like he has a job to do. He does his job. I do my job. Everybody goes home happy.
Yeah.
And wealthy.
Yeah. Yeah. Last thing. Any advice to him about how to get back in the league? Like, what does he need to do?
I'm going to tell Antonio the same thing I tell all the young guys that's coming into the NFL. Surround yourself with guys that tell you what you need to know, not what you want to hear.
Right.
A lot of these guys
Yes,
are
man.
on Antonio. Exactly.
Right.
And they're afraid to tell Antonio what he needs to know
Yeah.
because that ride will stop.
Yeah. Because that's the problem with having your friend.
So Shannon Sharpe says, surround yourself around people who will tell you what you need to know, not what you want to hear. Well, that's exactly what Shannon Sharpe did, and he didn't take that advice. He's a flaming hypocrite. He had Monique sit right there on his show and tell him about his situation and what he need to do. He ain't listen. Cat Williams sat right there up on the show telling Shannon Sharpe about all these different things. Obviously, he didn't take that advice. But that's just one clip of Shannon Sharpe going in on Antonio Brown. These two actually exploded in each other on Twitter in the past, prompting Shannon Sharpe to eventually block, you understand what I'm saying, Antonio Brown. Then you had a situation where he basically was just going in on Antonio Brown for every single thing Antonio Brown was doing. This is the same thing he was doing with Russell Westbrook. Same thing he was doing with Russell Westbrook, right? Then Shannon Sharpe is not in the locker room during these times with Antonio Brown, but Shannon Sharpe took the opportunity to go in on Antonio Brown in a situation where Antonio Brown had a beef with a different teammate. And this is what Shannon Sharpe had to say about that.
Shannon, whose side are you on here?
I'm on Juju. This is not even close. Hold on, Juju. It took that post for you to realize AB was like this. You've been with the guy for 2 years. It took you 2 years to realize what I knew from a distance 6 years ago.
That is true.
And I said this 2 years ago in January 2017, Skip, when he pulled out that phone and went Facebook Live. I say, Steelers, you need to move on because it's only going to get worse from here.
You said it.
You did.
Oh!
And they moved right on with the whole new
Oh,
contract.
and they gave $19 million last year.
Yeah.
And he sabotaged the season, pretend like he was hurt. He gonna Skip, how low must a teammate be to point out on social media, boy, fumble the playoffs away?
I mean, that's so horrible.
Let that sink in for a second. And that's a teammate. Oakland, good luck, Oakland.
Can I make a quick point?
Go ahead.
Sure.
After that play, the next day, Juju tweeted, when I'm at my lowest, I'm not going to hide. I'm sorry, that loss was on me.
Yes.
I let everybody down. It won't happen again. Well, he did.
He owned it, yeah.
I mean, now you're going to shame him further?
Exactly. I said this before. I said it early in the year.
Yeah.
I said, what got AB most butt hurt is that Juju has more catches, more yards. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You're not in the locker room.
And he got voted by his teammates.
And at the end, I said, him
Yeah.
being voted MVP by his teammates,
Did it.
that was the final straw for Antonio Brown.
was.
See, Antonio Brown, see, this is what he did. See, you weren't here when we went to Houston. See, come out here all soft-spoken. You know, I just want to win.
We had him on the show
we had him on the win.
after you blasted.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to win. You know, it's all about, you know, I wear 84 because you wore 84. I'm just trying to get jewelry. I just want to be mentioned with the greats. Antonio Brown does want to win.
You were nice to him that day.
Yeah. I'm always going to be cordial.
Yeah.
But I know he was full of caca, but I ain't say it, but I knew it.
I can't picture him soft-spoken.
No, he can be.
Yeah.
He can be
His
sweet.
voice, it doesn't have the carry.
So Shannon Sharpe has a history of blasting, and I mean blasting Antonio Brown at every chance he got an opportunity to. Every single chance he got an opportunity, he went on national TV and told Antonio Brown a new one. And I'm showing y'all this because it's going to lead to something, right? But Shannon Sharpe was always so judgmental about do this, do it like that. You need to do this, you need to do that, and everything. Whatever athlete or whoever they were talking about, whatever situation, whether it was Zion, whether it was Antonio Brown, whether it was Deshaun Watson, whether it was Russell Westbrook, all these dudes, he sat up there on his high mighty stool and blasted these dudes. But now, when the shit turned on him, now all of a sudden, it's a shakedown.
Whew. All right, Shannon, are you surprised that Mayock came out this strong calling out AB?
Hell no, he should have come out stronger.
Huh.
Skip, this supposed to be the honeymoon.
Yeah.
Skip, you plan a wedding. Now, they traded a third and a fifth to get AB. A big time, big play potential. Has Hall of Fame written all over him.
True.
So you give him 3 years, $50 million, $30 million fully guaranteed. This the honeymoon. Then if I have a great wedding, I have 150 people at my wedding, an 8-tier cake, and everybody is all happy, and I get to the honeymoon, and all we do is argue for 2 weeks, there's a good chance, Skip Bayless, we probably not going to make it to that old silver that 25-year anniversary mark. There's a good chance that the Oakland Raiders and Antonio Brown, Skip, is not going to make it these 3 years. I'm afraid that's going to be the case.
Yep.
Skip, it's simple as this. The NFL instituted a couple of years ago that they were going to test helmets because they wanted the safest helmets as possible. Because the one thing the NFL loves more than the thing that they love is money. The thing that they hate worse than money is losing money. They don't want another $5, $6, $7 billion settlement to come down the pipeline, Skip. So they said, we're going to test these helmets. Now, they let certain guys be grandfathered. All the other guys got new helmets.
Okay.
Guys like Tom Brady, grandfather. But guess what Tom Brady played with this year in 2019, Skip? A new helmet.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers, grandfather. Guess what he's playing with in 2019, Skip? A new helmet.
And by the way, they don't like it either.
Tom Brady's like, well, hold on. I played in 5 Super Bowls in this helmet. I kind of like this thing. But dum-dum, AB
Called him dumb and everything on TV. See, I'm showing y'all the stuff that Shannon Sharpe does. This is what he does. Call him dumb. This is the shit he does. Now, see, we're going to call it out right down the line. So y'all seen this. Every single time he had a chance, he came out cooking on
According to Antonio Brown, issues with how the Bucs handled his ankle injury caused him to leave the field in spectacular fashion last season. Who can forget that one? Well, AB's ankle still hasn't healed. However, the former Bucs receiver says he will not have surgery unless an NFL team signs him. It's an interesting strategy. Shannon, what do you think of all this?
I don't know. I don't know.
But here's the problem that's even more upsetting and delusional is AB. There will be people that agree with AB. Skip, the man said, I need to get my ankle fixed, but I just want to make sure I got an obligation or a commitment for a team from a team. It's allowed for a guy to go do surgery.
Sir, I'm going to go ahead. I see I got one early today, y'all. Busby got y'all haters looking goofy out here, believing AI audio tapes. No, sucker. And I'm going to go ahead and block you right now. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to block you. You're blocked. I'm going to block you right now. Let me go ahead and get you up out of here. You are dusty. Now, here's the reason why I'm going to block you before I get back to my situation. The reason why is because Busby don't have me believe in nothing, you stupid son of a... Shannon Sharpe's lawyer came out and said that the tape was real. Idiot. Read line 2, paragraph 2. Read paragraph 2. Lanny Davis, who is Shannon Sharpe's lawyer, has confirmed the authenticity of that recording. But he claimed that his client, who is Shannon Sharpe, you idiot, was speaking in the heat of the moment, and the violent threat was not intended. Shannon Sharpe's own lawyer, not Tony Busby, his own lawyer said the tape was real, you idiot. Blocked. Get your stupid ass out of here. This is what happens when you have a lack of knowledge and understanding. This is why I cook these bums. Point blank period, apostrophe T, Tiger Woods, man, I pop it, they tease. Straight like that. Get him out of here. Dikembe Mutombo, R.I.P., nigga. Get your ass up out of here, boy. See what trolling gets you? It gets you blocked, sucker. Now, can you dig that? Can you dig that, sucker? Now, back to what I was saying. Shannon Sharpe have been very, very critical. Very critical. Very critical of Zion Williamson. Very critical of many things about Zion Williamson. We've heard that. Not only that, he's been very critical of Russell Westbrook. All these athletes, he always go out of his way to try to tear these guys down. It's a disgrace. Absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace, right? I want you to hear this. I want y'all to hear this. I want y'all to hear this. Hold on. I want y'all to hear this right here. You gonna hear this. Hold on. Here we go, right here. Let's start this right here.
All the issues Westbrook raised yesterday.
Yeah, baby, you covered professional sport for 40 years.
Yeah.
In all of your 40 years, have you ever seen a more delusional athlete in your life than Russell Westbrook?
Man called a professional athlete delusional. He called Russell Westbrook, who's in a locker room, telling you the type of stuff he's going through when he was playing with the Lakers. He called him delusional. Shannon Sharpe went out of his way to try to cause this man to lose his money and to lose his career. Let's keep going. On national TV. Let's keep going.
As God is my witness, that was going to be my opening remark back to you after you spoke. So you just stole my thunder in a good way. Thank you.
Skip, this is what the man said.
He laughing with Skip to tear down this other black athlete. This is what Shannon does, right? He's been able to navigate and get away with this all this time because his dirty laundry wasn't aired out. But when it come back to him, now everybody want to jump on the Shannon wagon train. When guys like myself were taking up for Shannon Sharpe for all this time because we didn't know he had all this other stuff on his helmet, everybody coming at us. Nah, man.
It's unfortunate, to be honest, because I've never had an issue with any of my coaches before. Westbrook said on Monday after his exit interview, I'm not sure what the issue was with me. I'm not sure why, but I really can't give you an answer to why we really never connected. How about this? Russ never had an issue with any of his other coaches because they never held you accountable for your terrible play. When you turn the ball over, they just stand on the sideline and clap. When you airball ball, they just stand on the sideline and clap. When you
notably Scotty Brooks,
yes,
whom the Lakers wanted as an assistant, and it didn't come to be. You know, it didn't quite work out in the end.
So Frankie V tries to hold you accountable and say, Russ, we can't turn the ball over, and we definitely can't turn the ball over in that situation. And let's try to find a better spot or a better situation where we can get the shot. That if you want to take the shot, let us get back, get settled in first before you willy-nilly just take up any shots. And now because Frankie B was trying to hold you accountable, he didn't like you. You notice that, Skip? If you do this, if you got parents have kids, if one parent gives the kid everything you want, guess which kid the parent gonna gravitate towards, Skip? And that's what he did. He gravitated towards the coaches that let him run amok. Shoot as many bad shots as you want. Miss as many layups as you want. Turn the ball over as much as you want. Air ball anytime you want to. Frank Vogel said, no, we can't have that because you're putting us in a disadvantageous situation.
Yeah.
The man don't like me. Really? Now, Skip, he talking about the famous sources. I thought you said that stuff didn't bother you. You talking about I go home, I got a beautiful wife, I got 3 beautiful kids, and you do. You said none of that stuff bother you. The fans didn't bother you. Now, all of a sudden, you use that as an excuse. So either it bothers you or it doesn't. So were you lying then or are you lying now? Skip, he said, and then, because remember, he had no expectations. That's what he said. Now, I'm just going by what he said. He had no expectations coming into the season. He said, for the simple fact that last year he averaged a triple-double and this year he didn't, paraphrasing, he would say that was unsuccessful.
Everybody say, why is he screaming? But y'all the same people that was saying that girl was lying when she said in the lawsuit that Shannon Sharpe told her she needed to be at his house on time at every single night, that he told her to come at 9 o'clock. And if she came late, she said that she would get an absolute tongue lashing. She said Shannon Sharpe would explode on her, and Shannon Sharpe's attitude was just unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? This is true. This is all true. Right? Remember when Shannon Sharpe went off because he had the technical difficulties on Nightcap where his mic couldn't work? Remember when he went off for that? Y'all forgot that, right? I know, y'all forgot. Y'all forgot. Y'all forgot. I know. Like I said before. But see, when you present facts, then people want to move the goalposts. That's the sad part about it. Right? When you bring up facts, they want to move the goalposts, man. You know? These are all facts. Now, again, remember when Ocho went off, when Sharpe went off on Ocho for being late. Now, remember that. Now, let's get to that right here. Let's go to that right now. My brother around the association did a video on that. But y'all didn't know about this. But I'm going to show y'all. I'm just showing y'all the history before we show y'all what Antonio Brown did.
His name was Alex. He was really cool dude. And as soon as he opened the car door and he got out the car door to greet me, the car door locked by accident. So I would have been on time, but the fact that we had to wait for the tow truck and them to bring the Slim Jim was the reason.
So he's explaining, for y'all who don't know what's going on, Ocho Cinco is explaining to Shannon Sharpe why he was late for a show on Nightcap. He's explaining to him that something happened to his car. And look what Shannon Sharpe did.
For my delay and getting to the hotel a little late. But I'm here now.
Let me ask you a question. So when you go to ESPN, you have people pick you up from the airport?
Yeah.
No, you don't. When you do Inside the NFL, you have people pick you up from the airport?
Yeah, at the beginning, yeah.
No, you don't. So I'm just trying to figure out why with your show would you choose to take that route when you don't take that route for ESPN and Inside the NFL?
I wasn't lying. I'm dead serious. When I fly into Philly, I have somebody pick me up from Philly. When I fly into New York, I have somebody pick me up from New York. I'm serious.
That ain't what they told me. I just talked
to you. Listen to me now. It's documented. It's documented.
I'm just telling you.
But all you have to do is just search my tweets. I've been doing it the past 15 years. I always do this.
I'm not saying that.
Yes, sir. Talk to me now.
Ocho.
Right.
Again. Ocho, this is part of your show.
Right.
Why would you be late? Why would you run the risk of being late?
I didn't want to be late. I just told me what happened. I would have been on time. But due to unfortunate circumstances of him locking the keys in his car, which I documented, I was just a little late.
Why don't you, Ocho? Why don't you just have the people that you're working for just have them to book your car service?
I don't like car service.
It's okay.
I don't like how them people, they be mean and they be bougie. I don't like, they be in suits and ties and shit. That don't make me comfortable. That don't make me comfortable. What makes me comfortable is like being able to sit down and talk Wait,
You want to be comfortable or you want to be professional?
no, I don't want to be. No, I want to be comfortable. I want to talk to people that I can relate to.
Okay.
So Sharpe was grilling him, and it got worse. That's the point. Grills all these athletes, tells all of them, hey, man, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to, like some type of drill sergeant. Antonio Brown had enough. Antonio Brown went to his social media and put his ass on Cook and ESPN and Fox. He said ESPN and Fox Sports want to always talk about allegations of players who playing, trying to hurt the image. Don't care if it's true or not. But when employees have allegations, they look the other way. He went on to say, at this point, we athletes need a public apology from Fox Sports and ESPN. They wanted to throw allegations around like crazy amongst athletes, talking about ninjas to make money. Now, these girls giving out actual evidence against their employees, and they don't say nothing. Antonio Brown calling out the hypocrisy. Then he went on to seriously clown Shannon Sharpe. He posted this, which got 8.7 million views, and everybody trolling Shannon Sharpe. Then he posted this. He posted that. Where in response to a post where Say Cheese posted the allegations against Shannon Sharpe, he said this ninja ain't slick. And then he put a rainbow and a dinosaur. Antonio Brown is tired of the foolishness. And this is why I played that stuff for y'all, of Shannon Sharpe being so hypocritical. So hypocritical. Right? And being upset on everybody else whenever something went awry. Right? But again, you look at your screen, and AB is correct. ESPN and them and Fox Sports, they'll let them guys go on there and do what they do to Russell Westbrook, all these guys, Antonio Brown, the list goes on, Deshaun Watson. They will let these people tear into these people to shreds. But whenever they got something going against him, Joy Taylor on TV right now, she got a lawsuit out against her right now. She on national TV. Make it make sense. They criticize people all the time on TV. Have critical thinking, critical takes. All this stuff. Malika Andrews criticized the former head coach of the Boston Celtics, Ime Udoka, for having a consensual relationship with a woman in the Boston Celtics front office in the same organization, the same job. Meanwhile, this chick marries a nigga in her same job field. Let me repeat myself again. Malika Andrews blasted Ime Udoka for having a consensual relationship with a woman in the Boston Celtics organization. Meanwhile, she married and had a relationship with Dave McMenamin, who works with her at ESPN. No punishment, no nothing. Antonio Brown is right. He's right. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's right. He's right. So when you see this going on, and you see these things that's going on right now, this is why I be trying to tell y'all. So this is why Antonio Brown and people are going off. Because of the hypocrisy of guys like Shannon Sharpe. You can't come out here being a hypocrite, saying all these things about everybody else, right? And then You're ESPN and Fox. You allow that to be aired. You allow these people to go in here, and that affects these people's money. You know how much money they lost Russell Westbrook for what Shannon Sharpe and them was saying about this man on national TV in contracts? Russell Westbrook probably damn near lost his career. That's why he a real G for holding his career, especially after that Lakers situation. Because they tried to end him for good. Same thing with Antonio Brown. Same thing with all the other players when they Fox and ESPN, all these people let these broadcasters get into personal issues. What about Kyrie Irving? Remember Kyrie Irving? What about Kyrie Irving? Remember Kyrie went through all that stuff he was going through? They damn near helped the assassination of Kyrie Irving basketball career. These are facts. These are facts. And I'm not lying to you. And I sat up here and watched it in real time. They let those guys go on TV and lead the charge of disrespect against these guys. It was disgusting. Disgusting. Right? Right? So remember when Kyrie Irving went and did that social media post? Kyrie Irving put up a post. He reposted a tweet. They tried to get Kyrie Irving from, I'm talking about like people was out here trying to get Kyrie Irving canceled because of that tweet. Remember that?
You know he's going to dig in now because he's caught backlash. Nick Friedel challenged him. Joe Tsai tweeted at him. Wish he'd have just pulled him into a room and had a conversation. Just because he tweets something, that doesn't mean you have to compound an issue by tweeting back at him. Just call him in. Hey, you're the owner. Just say, Kyrie, I'd like to talk to you about something that you posted. Look, Kyrie always wants you to think. He went to Duke. He wants you to think that he's a physicist and he's the smartest guy in the room and he's a conspiracy theorist. And he says, well, what if that didn't happen? I know, okay, I understand that it could have, but what if it didn't? Okay, even if it did happen, what if it didn't happen? What if who were actually responsible for it wasn't really responsible for it? See, that's how he does. And he's like, I just want to play devil's advocate. So I mean, personally, Skip, I don't listen to anything Kyrie has to say. I think he's a phenomenal basketball player, but he just says a whole lot of stuff. And there are enough of his followers because he has a large enough platform. They're going to say, Kyrie, you right. And the more people that, all he needs is one person to tell him that he's right other than himself, and he's going to keep it going. And so for me, this is, I ain't got no problem with freedom of speech. Freedom of speech in America does not mean you're free of consequences in America. So you can say whatever you want. You can spew whatever you want. But when the backlash and the consequences come, don't come, oh, cry me, Kanye. Oh, now all of a sudden, you're like, oh, they got a knee on my neck, and it reminds me I was like Emmett Till and yada, yada. I don't want to hear that. Because when you were saying what you were saying, it was without repercussion. I'm free. I'm this, I'm that. And then somebody had to remind him, you look a lot like Shannon Sharpe. Remember when OJ said, OJ, I ain't black, I'm OJ. Kanye started to believe that too. Yep. I ain't black, I'm Kanye. And then he got reminded, oh, yeah, you are. But Kyrie, I don't know what his end game is. He's always trying to I'm a free thinker. That was not free thoughts, Kanye. You reposted something. Now you said when Nick Friedel says, look, I understand what Alex Jones did. He made families relive a very tragic and horrifying moments in their life. He's a conspiracy theorist. I just like what he said 10 years ago. So you already said what the guy is. And now he's a proven liar. But it's that one thing that you like, you know what, it's that morsel over there. Now I get what he said right here is not true. Okay. Is he a member of these secret societies? Is Alex Jones a member of these secret societies that he can attest to? Is Kyrie Irving a member of these secret societies that he says exist? Just throwing stuff out there, Skip. It's just sad that this is what he's become. But Kyrie, I don't even know if you know who Craig Hodges is. But you better be careful. If you don't know who he is, might need to reach out to him and have a conversation. And I'm going to leave it at that.
So, yeah, that's what your favorite uncle said, shitting all over Kyrie Irving. When Kyrie said, hey, look, man, they can't just tell me anything. I have my own thoughts. Shannon Sharpe basically said, man, Kyrie, you make yourself sound like a damn fool. That's basically what he's saying without saying in those exact words. Y'all seen it right there. I just played it for y'all. And it's way more than that. But people got short memories. They forget all this stuff that Shannon Sharpe did to help tear these niggas down. So when Antonio Brown come, remember, all these things they say help hurt dudes' value, help hurt dudes' money on national TV in front of millions of people. So when Antonio Brown says, man, at this point, we the athletes need a public apology from Fox Sports and ESPN. They want to throw allegations around like crazy amongst athletes, talking about ninjas to make money. Now these girls giving out actual evidence against their employees, and they don't say nothing. And he went on. He said ESPN and Fox Sports want to always talk about allegations of players who playing, try to hurt the image. Don't care if it's true or not. But when employees have allegations, they look the other way. How many times y'all seen them on ESPN or Fox talk about guys' personal situations? Whether it be their personal situation, Deshaun Watson situation. Don't make me play Shannon Sharpe in the Deshaun Watson situation. Deshaun Watson situation. Remember Deshaun Watson, the same dude that Tony Busby sued? What did Shannon Sharpe say about Deshaun Watson? Did Shannon Sharpe say that Tony Busby was targeting black men when he sued Deshaun Watson? Answer the question. Did he say that? Did he say that? See, you niggas is going to get this extra cook. Period.
Interviews with HBO, and those interviews aired last night. They voiced issues with the quarterback's new contract, calling it disrespectful, saying that it made them sick. Shannon, what's your reaction?
Now, hold on. They're talking about, when she said that, she's talking about the fact that Deshaun Watson, the NFL football player who Tony Busby sued and won 23 out of 25 lawsuits against him. He settled 23 out of 25 of those lawsuits. Deshaun Watson paid 23 of those girls. They're talking about the next team that came back and signed him after those allegations. Here's what Shannon Sharpe said.
Their unhappiness with Deshaun getting the big contract because it's like they feel like this gentleman did something to them, and it's almost like he was rewarded. So I get it, Skip, and these are some very serious allegations that they're alleging that Deshaun Watson committed against them, and this is why we need to let the process play out. And it's really hard to tell, Skip, because anytime you go to court, Skip, you're asking 12 men, you're having men, your peers, to listen to evidence. And who do you believe? Who do you believe is more telling the truth? Who do you believe is more forthcoming? Who is not fudging? Who's not adding or taking anything out? Who's telling you the truth? And you're asking 12 men and women, and that's what, Skip, it's all civil. Because the grand juries in Texas says, no, we don't believe that there's enough evidence here that we can bring charges and then have 12 men and women hear these charges and get a conviction. So they says, okay, you guys do what you need to do. So I don't know how.
Two different grand juries.
Two different grand juries says we do not
believe. Not to indict.
Chose not to, and people got upset. And what I said, Skip, is that people all of a sudden, when the grand jury didn't indict him, they said, well, that doesn't mean that he's innocent.
Yep.
But you automatically jump to the conclusion of these allegations of his guilt. And I'm saying, if you're going to say that the grand jury not indicting him doesn't mean he's innocent, why do you automatically assume that the allegations means that he's guilty? I believe Deshaun Watson deserved to have his day in court, and he's going to have that day in court, Skip. He's been adamant. Skip, he could have settled these things and been all about his merry way. He says, but I refuse to settle when I don't believe I've done anything wrong.
Yep.
Now, the NFL is also listening to this. I don't know.
That was before. Right after that, Deshaun Watson settled with 23 of those women. That came out before the court case came up. And right after that, Deshaun Watson settled with 23 of those 25 women. I wonder what Shannon Sharpe said after that. I wonder what he said after that. Right? Wonder what he said after that. Let's see. Let's see. Right?
And Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good morning, Jimmy. How are you today?
Hold on.
Man, UFC.
Hold on, you guys. Hold on. Hold on. Because that was before. Hold on. I want to get after. After. That's what I want to get. I want to get to the after. Because there were comments that Shannon Sharpe made after on Deshaun Watson. Hold on, you guys. Let me pull this up. Pull this up.
That's not happening.
Well, I don't think it is, but that's the magnitude of this situation.
Right.
And Pro Football Talk concludes that this would create a major PR hit for any team that signs him.
Right.
And you brought that up yesterday.
Yeah.
Now, let me go to Shannon. I want to go to Shannon's part. I don't want to hear Skip. I want to hear Shannon's part. Because Shannon over here, amen and Skip. You know what? I'm gonna let it rock. I'm gonna let it rock.
The public opinion.
Correct.
The other guy wants to try this case in a court.
Okay.
He can't win public opinion currently because of the sheer volume. 13 lawsuits filed, another 9 pending, possibly being filed. So 22, just the sheer volume alone is going to make... Now, if you had one...
Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I accidentally clicked that wrong. My bad, y'all. Let me go to this. Hold on. I clicked that back. I want to go forward. Because there was another one I had up here of after he had settled. Okay, yeah, here we go.
Now come forward and filed a lawsuit for sexual misconduct during a massage session against Deshaun Watson. This is the first lawsuit since the NFL suspended him 11 games for the previous allegations. After settling with 23 other women, this new case...
Now, remember, let me say this. Y'all heard what she said. Deshaun Watson, after saying, I'll never pay them chicks, I'll never settle with them because I'm innocent. Right after that, Deshaun Watson paid 23 out of the 25 of those women to Tony Busby. Tony Busby was the lawyer. Did Shannon Sharpe say, hey, man, Tony Busby's a shakedown artist coming at a black man for Deshaun Watson? Let's hear what Shannon Sharpe said after he paid those settlements. Deshaun Watson.
is now the second active one against Deshaun. Shannon, what are your thoughts?
Nothing. Watson accuses soliciting the plaintiff over Instagram DM for a massage at the Houstonian hotel room in Texas in 2020. If I'm Deshaun, I'm like, you know what? I've already, I got my punishment. I'm dealing with my punishment. We going to court. I'm not just going to have y'all just, because this happened and everybody started talking. So, hey, I'm going to have you go prove it on your merits. Go prove this, because everybody says now, well, it's got to be true. The 23 other women, he settled with them. Forget that. NFL, you've already done. You can't double jeopardy me. You can't suspend me anymore for that. We going to court. I'm going to fight this one, Skip. I'm just tired because it seems to me, that's just me. I feel I hate that he put himself, and he did this. He did this. He allowed people to say that he did these things. And so
now, listen to what he said. He said he did this. He put himself in this situation. But Shannon Sharpe will not say the same thing about himself with that girl. He won't say, man, I did this, man. I put myself in that situation because I was dating a girl. He won't say that. He say, oh, no, it's a shakedown. They come after a black man, this and the third. He will not take any accountability. Once again, listen to what he said. Now, Shannon Sharpe, little do we know, he had legal situations going on behind the scenes because he had a lawsuit going on behind the scenes at this time with this girl, Michelle Evans. Peep now. Y'all nigga come and get mad. Nigga, I'm finna cook.
I feel I hate that he put himself, and he did this. He did this. He allowed people to say that he did these things. And so it's hard to feel sympathy or empathy because he put himself in this situation.
Now, how the hell is niggas supposed to feel sympathy and empathy for Shannon Sharpe? Now, I want all these niggas to screenshot this, nigga. Screenshot this. Shannon Sharpe's hypocritical ass words when it came to the black man. Y'all niggas always talking about, hey, man, trying to tear a black man down. Shannon Sharpe got on TV and said that this man brought his situation on himself when he was accused of some of the same things. But these niggas running around here, capping, and want to get mad at me, nigga, for standing up and telling the truth. When nigga, I don't miss nothing. I don't miss nothing. You don't want to play this game with me, y'all. Shannon Sharpe went on national, and this is what Antonio Brown is talking about. These networks let these black dudes go on TV, talk down on these other black dudes, but then when it's on Shannon Sharpe, when Tony Busby comes for Shannon Sharpe, now all of a sudden it's a shakedown, they going after a black guy. Why he ain't say that for Deshaun Watson? Huh? Once again, y'all want to play this game, nigga, let's play. Let me rewind it again. It'll be no white flags and no peace talk, nigga.
People to say that he did these things, I hate that he put himself, and he did this. He did this. He allowed people to say that he did these things. And so it's hard to feel sympathy or empathy because he put himself in this situation. But no, I'm going. I've read what she said happened. I got to go to court. I'm sorry.
Now, he did this. He did this. Oh man, I'll tell you right now, man. He put himself in that situation, man. He did this. But Shannon will not say, hey man, my bad, I put myself in this situation. Right? Why he won't say that right now? He the one that, he not saying that the girl just forced him to be with her. He not saying that. Shannon Sharpe should have never been dealing with that girl. He was so judgmental of these athletes and all these other people. Now when it come back to him, everybody want to put a protection suit on Shannon Sharpe when he was so judgmental. Everybody, when you're that judgmental, man, you better be walking the straight and narrow, nigga. You better be walking the straight and narrow.
And so this might be a situation that automatically, so everybody now automatically assumes, well, he did settle this and this happened before, because people can read. I mean, hey, if there's an accident on Wilshire bus, if there's an accident on Wilshire, the bus, guess who's on that bus, Skip? Your boy. How they know I wasn't on there? So I just hate it. I mean, I wish, if I'm Deshaun, I'm going to court. And I don't know what my attorneys will say.
If I'm Deshaun, I'm going to court. Well, Shannon had a chance to beat Deshaun, and the nigga tried to pay the girl $10 million. Nigga, stop playing. I'll be back. Another video just dropped, audio just dropped, and I told y'all it was coming. But, you know, they don't want to listen. So it is what it is. I'll be back.
All right, you guys. So we appreciate everybody that popped in, supported this video. Make sure that you guys shop our merch. We got that new A-Weapons merchandise right there below this video. All you got to do is look below. The links will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well to get the merch, to donate, support the channel, and subscribe to our podcast show. You'll see all those links pinned at the top of the comment section of this video. And we appreciate everybody that supports this channel and our networks. Also, that straight drop weight loss formula. Go to the website. You guys will see that. A link for that will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well. Go right there for all of your weight loss needs. Straight drop weight loss formula. We have a lot of testimonials on the website. You can go to www.str-8-drop.com and get you some of the weight loss formula today. Take your weight loss serious. Get in the gym, work out, exercise, and do what you got to do. Stay on point. We appreciate everybody that's been locked into this video. Again, all the links are pinned at the top of the comment section below. Salute to all of y'all. And again, we appreciate everybody who support what we doing over here.